Good day po, Ma'am Maylin Retla. First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Romel D. Vizcaño. I am the first presenter to the topic of nanotechnology. Now, let's proceed to our learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, the student or the learners will be able to, first, know what is nanotechnology. Second, identify the difference between nano and technology. And last, determine what nanotechnology impacts in our community. Now, let's proceed to our discussion. But I will discuss nanotechnology in a short way because later on, my group mates will discuss how nanotechnology works and what is the impacts in our society. Okay, nanotechnology is the study, design, creation, and application of materials and devices on a nanoscale. It integrates physics, chemistry, biology, and engineering to develop innovative solutions. Nanotechnology has transformed various industries and holds immense potential for future innovations. Addressing challenges and ensuring responsible development will drive its continued growth. So I will give an example of what is nanotechnology works and what is the impacts in our society. So nanotechnology is a very tiny or very small matter that produce materials that the society use it. Like for example, sa television before, ang television before is very big, which is not carrying, it's very hard to carry. But in our generations, our television is it's easy to carry or what we call portable. When we say portable, ito po yung mga bagay na mabilis na malipat or mas magaan na lang dalhin. It's because of the nanotechnology. So that's one example of the nanotechnology products.
Good day, ma'am. I am Kyle Mitch Sita Rafael from BPED 2A. And now, let's proceed to the nano and technology. So, ngayon naman is, i-discuss natin is, what is nanometer? So, yung nanometer is, from the word nano, ibig sabihin is small or dwarf. So, sa nanotechnology, yung nanometer is a small unit of measurement. So, yung nanometer is, ginagamit siya pang measure, usually yung mga maliliit na objects. So, gaano nga ba kaliit yung nanometer? So, sabi dyan, yung nanometer is equal to 10 billion in 1 meter. Usually, nakikita natin to sa science. So, ginagamit din ito usually to know and describe the small atomic things found in science. So, dahil nga si nanometer is super maliit lang siya, so, hindi natin siya kayang makita even our naked eyes. So, only the microscope lang yung may kakayahan nito. So, yung some of the example ng microscope is yung electron microscope. So, ano nga ba yung microscope na ito? So, yung microscope na ito yung first electron microscope na ginamit noong 1930s. So, yung microscope na ito is nagproproduce siya ng high and better resolution rather than other light microscope. And yung microscope na to is kayang mag-magnify ng object to 1 million times. Yung pangalawa naman is yung scanning tunneling microscope. So, yung scanning tunneling microscope is tinatawag siyang special microscope used by scientists to view and manipulate nanoscale particles like atom and small molecules. So, yung founder ng invention na ito is si J. Vinegar and si Heinrich Rohrer. And in terms of technology naman is, ginagamit yung nanometers to know the tiny parts. For example, is yung mga gadgets like cellphone, laptop, computers, anything that consists of tiny components. And that's all for nano and technology.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Rajan S. Rasaot, and now let's proceed to history. So, the first ever concept was presented in 1959 by the famous professor of physics, Dr. Richard P. Feynman. So, si Dr. Richard P. Feynman ay kilalang American theoretical physicist na nag-contribute to the field of physics in the post-World War II. At pinanganak po siya noong May 11, 1918 in New York City. Yung mga magulang niya po ay both Jewish immigrants na nanggaling sa Russia and Poland. So, sa murang edad po ay magaling na po siya sa mathematics and science. And before po siya pumasok sa college ay na-master niya na ang calculus. So, meron po siyang phrase na there is a plenty of room at the bottom. So, ito po ay isa sa kanyang famous lecture in 1959 kung saan sinasabi niya po dito ang posibilidad na i-manipulate o manipulating matter at the atomic and molecular level. Nag-propose po siya na idea tulad ng miniature machine na kung saan gagawa ito ng mga tasks, rearranging atoms to create new materials. And ang lecture na ito, considered as a foundational moment in the history of nanotechnology, na kung saan nagpalawak po ito ng imahinasyon ng mga scientists and engineers. And now po, proceed po tayo sa scanning tunneling microscope. So, si Gerd Binning and Henrik Rohrer po ang nag-invento ng STM o scanning tunneling microscope. So, ano nga po ba ang ginagawa ng STM? Ang STM po ay may kakayahang makita ang pinakamaliit na particles katulad ng molecules and atom. Noon po kasi limitado lang yung nakikita. Hindi po katulad ngayon na mayroon ng scanning tunneling microscope, kaya na makita ang pinakamaliit na particles. Nag-open pa ito ng mga panibagong possibilities na makatuklas ng bagong application in various fields of science and technology. And now, let's proceed to fullerene or C60 o kilala bilang carbon-60. Para siyang maliit na bola composed of carbon atom. So, ang shape po ng fullerene ay para pong soccer ball. So, yung fullerene po, meron siyang katangian ng pagiging matibay at magaan. Saan po natin makikita ang fullerene o C60? Kung sa natural po, makikita po natin siya sa volcanic ash and meteorites. Pero, nowadays po, mas ginagawa po siya sa laboratory. For example po, sa solar panel, kapag meron pong C60 o fullerene, mas mabilis po itong maka-absorb ng sunlight. Sa madaling salita po, ang STM ay isang mahalagang kasangkapan sa nanotechnology na nagbibigay daan sa mga scientific na mag-aral at mag-manipulate ng mga materials sa antas ng nanotechnology. Kabilang po dito ang C60. Ang C60 naman po ay isang natatanging material na may mga katangian na ginagawa itong kapaki-pakinabang sa iba't ibang mga application sa nanotechnology. Ang kanilang connection po ay nagbubukas ng mga bagong posibilidad para sa pagbuo ng bagong materials at device na may mga natatanging katangian. Now, si Norio Taniguchi po ay isang professor sa Tokyo Science University. Ginamit niya po ang term na nanotechnology in a presentation about the ability to manipulate materials on a nanometer scale. He specifically described it as the processing of separation, consolidation, and deformation of materials by one atom or one molecule. Pero hindi po sumikat ang term na nanotechnology until 1980s. Dahil nung time po noon, mas sumikat po ang fullerene o ang C60. Pero nandahil po kay Eric Drexel na isang futurist and nanotechnologist, sumikat po ang term na nanotechnology. Dahil po sa libro niya na Engine of Creation in 1986. Sinabi niya po dito na a future where molecular machine could build complex structures atom by atom. Si Norio Taniguchi po ang unang nag-isip ng salitang nanotechnology, pero hindi po siya nagpasikat dito. Nung matuklasan po ang fullerenes at nang isinulat po ni K. Eric Drexel ang libro niya tungkol sa hinaharap ng nanotechnology, mas lalo nakilala ang nanotechnology. So, sa madaling salita po, si Norio Taniguchi po ay siya lang po yung nagbigay ng term ng nanotechnology, pero si Eric Drexel po yung nagpasikat ng term ng nanotechnology.
Another example of the nanotechnology in drug or cancer or when it comes to medicine. Okay, paano nga ba ginagamit ang nanotechnology sa medicine, sa drug, or paano mas nagiging effective? So, when it comes to drug, kunyari, for example, yung pasyente ay mayroong sakit na brain tumor. Yung binibigay o yung nire-resita na gamot sa pasyente na yon ay mas effective siya dahil mayroon na siyang ginagamitan siya ng nanoparticles or nanomaterials para yung gamot is mas doon lang pupunta sa sakit niya na brain tumor at hindi na siya magkakaroon pa ng other side effect yung gamot na iniinom ng pasyente at mas magiging effective or mas magiging madali yung pagaling ng pasyente. At pagdating naman po sa pwede rin pong gamitin ang nanotechnology sa pag-opera like plastic surgery or rhinoplasty like katulad po ngayon. Doon po ay yung mga materials na ginagamit sa pag-oopera ng pasyente ay ginagamitan po ng nanotechnology para mas malinis at mas madali siyang gumaling at for the is mas magiging effective po yung at maganda yung result doon sa surgery na yun.
Good day, ma'am. I am the last reporter, Jessie Mata from BPED 2A. So, when we say electrodes are vital components of electrochemical cells. They produce electrons from one cell to another cell, which produce an electrical charge. So, as you can see in the picture, it is an example of electrodes, which is electrocardiography. This electrocardiography ay nilalagay sa mga parts ng ating body or muscles na kinokontract at binabasa ng mga electric current na merong rhythm by the heart. Let's move on to the e-paper. E-paper, it is capable of holding a text or image. It reduces our eye strain since it simulates paper rather than a computer screen. Also, e-paper is perfect for indoor or outdoor displays such as traffic signs, digital signage, and retail passenger information. For deeper understanding, let's watch this video. Alright, did you fully understand what is e-paper? Now, let's move on to morph. So, the morph is our last topic. The word morph means transform quickly or change shape. Nokia Morph is a joint nanotechnology concept developed by Nokia Research Center or what we call the NRC and the University of Cambridge or the UK. The morph demonstrates how future mobile devices might be stretchable and flexible, allowing the user to transform their mobile devices into radically different shapes. So, let's watch this video to deeper understanding about the morph. Alright, did you understand the examples of the morph? If you understand, any question and clarification? If none, thank you for listening in our report. Again, this is nanotechnology.